Hello, Internet. I'm Matt, and I'm by myself today on this episode of the Parallax Scrolling Podcast, where we give you our perspective on video games and the news that affects them. So we kind of had a bit of a scheduling conflict, and because of that, I'm by myself. Just me, tee-hee. Oh boy. Anyhow, I'm just gonna get into it. We got a bunch of. I'm gonna talk video games about what I've been playing, just a little bit, and then I'm gonna save the rest of it for the next time Monster and I actually get to record, which will be next episode. I've been playing Diofield Chronicles some more. I am proceeding further into the game. I'm getting near the end. I think I might actually have it beat before I get to record again. And yeah, I got some beefs. It's an okay game, but there's some things I have issues with, and I'm going to bring them up next episode. So just tune in for that. Because if you're looking at playing that game, you're going to really want to know. But what's really cool is I think the next game I'm going to play, we talked about a little bit on the show, is a game called Monarch, and it's from Nippon Ichi, and they do good stuff, and so I'm excited to try it out. Also, I ended up picking up a copy of Chris Tales, which I think is an RPG. I hear good things about that one, so I'm going to try that one too. But that's in the future. So we got some. I got some comments to read, and they're targeted at me. So it's kind of perfect that we're doing them just on this episode, huh? So, and all three of them come from one person. So shout out to you, Tom. Here we go. Matt. The highest rated game of all time at a 99 out of 100 on Metacritic is... ... It also had the most dungeons of any Zelda game, some of the best music ever produced in a video game, and pioneered as the first truly good 3D action adventure game. Now, before I continue reading this comment, I'm going to dissect this part, okay? First off, the highest rated game of all time means nothing to me. It's a rating. It's a people's opinion. Sure, a lot of people can have that opinion, but a lot of people can also be wrong. It has the most dungeons of any Zelda game. I personally don't believe that, but I'll have to look. I mean, considering the first game had 8, the Link to the Past had at least 8 in the subworld, and then like 4 or 5 in the over. So we're looking about like 13, 14 dungeons. So unless it's got more than that, I don't know. But some of the best music ever produced in a video game. No, that's just wrong. I will strongly disagree with you there. As to some of the greatest music in a video game, gosh, there's just so many. So some of them are Metroidvanias that I love and cherish, and I'll talk about them when I actually do my Metroidvania list when I have time to record all that video footage. But I can think of other songs. Let's just go. How about the Mega Man series? Period. Mega Man, Mega Man X, Mega Man Legends, all have great music. So there's way more. There's way more iconic music in other series than just Ocarina of Time, which is what Tom's been talking about here. And pioneered as the first truly good 3D action adventure game? No. I disagree with that too. Which one would I put in that spot is a great question, and I'm going to have to think about that. And since I'm going to think about it, I'm going to make you guys think about it. Tell me in the comments down below what you think is the first truly good 3D action adventure game. All right? Now, let's continue with this comment. This is the first comment, by the way. So yes, it is more deserving to be on this list than many of these games. Again, no. As for Last of Us, I might agree with you even though it is a great game. I fail to see what makes it a Hall of Fame Fame game when Uncharted 2 was way more innovative for being a cinematic action game. I agree with the statement. The Uncharted series in general, I think is just fantastic. And yes, Uncharted 2, man, that train scene, whoo, so good. Such good stuff. So yeah, I agree with you about this part. But dude, of course, the highest rate game of all time should be in the Hall of Fame. No. I do want blood for whoever created this list and did not put Dragon Quest 1, God of War 1, God of War 2018, Final Fantasy 1, Final Fantasy 6, or Chrono Trigger in the Hall of Fame. Well, see, right there, you just kind of contradicted yourself there. Because none of those were the highest rated game. Like, some of them are very highly rated, but they're not the highest. So it's just a matter of perspective. And honestly, the Hall of Fame itself is probably pure speculation and forced perspective. So, okay. Second comment. And it's just continuing the point. Also from Tom. Also, Dark Souls or Bloodborne deserves to be here far more than The Last of Us. Amen, brother. All right. Big one for Matt as well. Where is Super Metroid and Castlevania Symphony of the Night? Good question. They're, again, I think this is more like a personal Hall of Fame, although it's being touted as the big Hall of Fame. I don't know. All the games in this paragraph started entire genres and are still some of the best games in those genres after decades. I love this part. This is not a Hall of Fame. It is a Hall of Shame. Yeah. I don't know if it's a Hall of Shame per se, but it is definitely mediocre. I mean, it has some great titles, but also has some, like, yeah, we've already kind of touched on that. And then lastly, I don't know why YouTube is kind of hiding this comment from me, but I found it. I'm going to read it. It's like a different version of what you previously just said, Tom. Also, Dark Souls or Bloodborne deserves to be here far more than The Last of Us. And Resident Evil 1 and Resident Evil 4 not being on here is a sin. Strong opinion, yes. Do I love Resident Evil 1? Yes. Do I love Resident Evil 4? Yes. I would say Resident Evil 1 being in the Hall of Fame is definitely an agreement. 4, as great as it is, I don't think it's a Hall of Famer. Because a Hall of Fame should have things that have made a massive impact on the video game industry. And again, that's up for speculation. You can look at numbers, you can look at ratings, sure. But there's much more impact than any ratings or personal bias that I might have or you might have or anybody might have. For example, why would you put Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time and not The Legend of Zelda? Considering The Legend of Zelda started the whole darn thing. The whole beloved franchise. Why isn't that one on there? Why isn't that like top dog? So it's just, again, I don't believe this is a full-on official Hall of Fame, but it makes you wonder, makes me question stuff. But good comments, Tom. Thank you for contacting us and letting us know. And if you have other questions or comments, and you're going to answer my question, remember, going to do that. Please do so in the comments down below. And while you're down there, do the obligatory like and subscribe, because YouTube likes it when we tell you to do that stuff. So do it, please. Alrighty. Time for some news. And I got about, let's see here. I got about 4 stories. So I'll try to make them kind of quick. Shouldn't be too bad considering it's just me, but, I do ramble. Alrighty. Let's say first news, kind of a sad one. Little Big Planet 3 servers are officially shut down indefinitely. Sony confirms. The story's coming from IGN. Actually, all my stories are coming from IGN today because I found some really good ones. And with this being, with Little Big Planet 3 being shut down, more than 10 million levels are now offline and cannot be accessed. And if you've ever had the opportunity when those games were up to play some of the fan-made levels, Mario Maker has nothing on Little Big Planet. People made some of the most amazing games I've ever seen in my life, especially considering with what limited hardware they were working with. Somebody made a top-down fighter level, like you run around as this character fighting monsters in a dungeon. It's a 2D platformer, and they turn it into they flip the camera angle on you, and you were able to wander around, and it was very explosive, and it was so fun. I've seen people make so many sports games, so many really cool pinball games, everything. I've also seen a bunch of garbage, but you're going to find that with Maker games, whether it's Little Big Planet 3 or if it was Super Mario Maker. It's a shame. It's a shame. Being able to let people enhance their creativity or exercise their creativity, either way, is awesome. And taking that kind of stuff away is a shame. And that's kind of the same problem with mods. Like, I don't know why people want to take away mods, but you know, it adds to gameplay preservation. It adds to the life of a game, but it also allows people to express themselves creatively, and that's just such a big deal. It was a renaissance time with all the Little Big Planet games, so it's a shame to see them go. I'm gonna miss them. Oh, I'm gonna miss them. Well, you know what I'm not gonna miss, and it's weird to say it like that. Kind of try to get my segue started. I think the battery's broken. There's some emulators coming out on Apple products. In fact, the first one has come out recently. It is called Delta, and it allows you to play old school Nintendo games on your Apple device. Now, how you are responsible for that is up to you. But the fact that Apple's finally allowing that, allowing emulator programs to exist on their Apple products is kind of, I don't know how I feel about it, to be honest. Like, it could be very cool. It could also be problematic. I mean, I think my biggest concern is how much of a battery drain is the emulator going to be on an iPhone, like on my iPhone. Well, like, I already use my iPhone enough. I go on TikTok for as long as that exists, and I go, you know, I also play Monster Hunter now, and those can suck the battery dry. What's Delta going to be like? I don't know. Gonna have to take a look at that. But yeah, so what do you guys think? Should emulators be a thing on people's phones all the time? And more importantly, what's the next emulator you want to see? Because I'm telling you, if I can play just about any Nintendo game, that's very cool. You get me some Sega games on my phone. You get me some TurboGrafx 16 games on my phone. We're going to have a good time, I think. So yeah, looking forward to that. Now, I got 2 last stories. I'm surprised I'm kind of ripping through them as fast as I am. But they're both about things I'm excited about. So I had to, you know, personally share these on my solo episode day. So first off, if you remember, there is a spiritual successor to Suikoden coming out called, I believe it's pronounced Eiyuden Chronicles. or Iodine Chronicle, and it's made by the creator of Suikoden. And if you've never played the Suikoden series, find a way to play them. They're amazing games. Well, unfortunately, the creator passed away this year, but the team has said that they're still going to move forward, and that there is going to be a sequel for Iodine Chronicle coming out. And all I can say is it's a tough thing, because, like, you know, when we talked about like Akira Toriyama passing, and we talked about this gentleman passing, you're losing the creator, you're losing the main mind behind the project. So you're not going to be able to recreate it the same way. I think a perfect example of this is if you ever saw it from Rooster Teeth, which should be non-existent here very soon. But the creator of RWBY, RWBY, is a really cool series in the beginning. It was a concept of these fairy tale characters who were honestly ended up being characters of multiple fairy tales put into one person all over the place. But these fairy tale mythology characters existing in this world, this fantasy world, where they're trying to fight monsters that are just constantly being summoned to destroy the kingdom. And it is pure insanity, but it was awesome. It was really well done. First 3 seasons were done by the creator, and then unfortunately the creator was killed in a car accident. And then the show kind of took a different turn. Like, they knew what the creator wanted to continue the story, but you could tell that as seasons went on, the passion was different, and it was more about making the money than it was about making the story. And so that's my only concern. Like, when Dragon Ball continues, or in this case Iodine Chronicle continues, will we be able to keep the same momentum that the creator had put into place? Obviously, again, this is one of those situations where time will tell, but I think it's also very nice. Like, this is definitely a series I was looking forward to, and I hope that they continue to honor the creator's wishes and make a totally awesome game series that I'm going to be a big fan of for years and years and years to come. Speaking of series that I'm a fan of, with sequels coming out, finally got my segue rolling. SteamWorld. If you've never played SteamWorld Dig or SteamWorld Heist, or I've yet to play SteamWorld Quest, but I'm going to. Here's the basis. Robot people with personalities living on an asteroid or in space or wherever, and they all kind of connect in different ways, but really it's just a very unique universe. Well, I'm very excited because SteamWorld Heist 2 has been announced, and it's coming out around my birthday, which makes me very happy. SteamWorld Heist is kind of like an XCOM, but it's like a 2D XCOM. And you know, depending on what robots you use, they had different quirks and personalities, which gave them different abilities. And so you had to pick like the right people for the right mission. And the best part was you had to angle your gun to aim, but you could ricochet bullets. And so you had to try and like find fancy ways to take out the enemy. And it was just so cool. Such a crazy idea. And I loved it. And so yay! SeaWorld Heist 2 coming out August 8th. August 8th. Yes. Man, I'm excited. I'm excited about all this stuff that I've talked about today. It's been kind of an exciting time. And I know that our next... I've already been looking at some news articles that are possibly going to be happening that I'm looking forward to us talking about for next episode, which we'll be recording soon. But in the meantime, I'm going to throw this out again. You got questions, you got comments, you got concerns, let us know in the comments down below. If there's a story that we haven't discussed yet that you think we really need to discuss, tell us in the comments. You don't even have to give us you don't got to give us paragraphs, guys. We appreciate y'all. And we do want to hear what you say. And we love these paragraphs. Tom, that one dude, I'm looking at both of you. You guys make some awesome comments. And you can give us some paragraphs sometimes. Cool. But at the same time, if all you want is to give us a one-word post or, just a one-line, hey, talk about this story, let us know in the comments. It'll help us shape the podcast better. So, yeah. I'm kind of by myself here, so I don't really have anything to bounce off of except my own walls. But yeah, so that's it for our stories for today. Thank you guys so much for listening. I appreciate you. I know Monster appreciates you. I hope you guys have an awesome week and play some awesome games. And we'll see you guys in the next one.
Take care.
Later.